run this computer.
Recording in progress. You get that on your end? I didn't know if you got it on your end because you hit the button.
Nope, every single time. Doesn't matter if you hit the button or not. It always says recording in progress. But I don't have to hit the button that says, yes, I will allow myself to be recorded because I hit the record button.
Yeah, that's annoying. It won't go away unless you hit it.
And if you hit the wrong button, you get kicked out of the meeting and you have to get re-invited to the meeting. Because I've done that for Dungeons and Junkies. And you can't just rejoin. You have to be re-invited.
Technology, I told you, I don't get it.
We're old, man.
That is true. Welcome to View from the Top of the Goalpost. We're back and got more Funko Pops than ever. I am your host, Diesel, joining you once again from Diesel's Dapper Dungeon of Delight. I still remember, it's been 8 months, but I still remember where I live. And we got the Dadilac, Chad. He says it's good to be back. And I agree. How you doing in your cave over there?
Oh, man, I am doing phenomenal. I will definitely have to post some full-on shots of the cave as the number of Funko Pops in here it's gone up quite a bit. I have many more shelves. I have many more tiny shelves. There's just a lot. I'll post it on the Instagram. You can see them all. There's a lot of fun ones. But yes, I am jacked to be back. I've missed football. I'm sorry, folks, that we did not do prediction shows for the playoffs and for the Super Bowl. But we both have kids, and I was going through it because my wife was about to give birth to our second child. Not quite yet, but she was in the throes of her second pregnancy. So,
what happened there? There was a weird sound that happened there when you were talking about your wife's being in the throes of her pregnancy. It just went. Maybe just on my end. I can't hear you now. Gotcha. Can hear you now. What? Nope. Not anymore.
No,
there you are. Heard you that time.
Good thing this isn't live.
Okay, yeah, I got you. You can hear you now.
Awesome.
It was weird. Like it cut out, and then I was waiting for like some secret message to like pop up, but no. Okay.
Every once in a while that happens when we're doing Dungeons and Junkies as well. I don't know if I'll leave this all in or not. It might just be a weird cut in the episode. Maybe I'll just throw a random GIF in here or something. Who knows? But yeah, we're back. Yay.
We're back. And yeah, last year we did our predictions episode all the way back in May. This year, don't know what happened. We planned on doing it back in May and just didn't. And now it's a week before the season starts as a recording, and we're doing it now. I liked doing it back in May because it was like way too early, and like some of your bold predictions are like, yeah, you're just making that prediction because it's May. Now it's like we have all this knowledge, like preseason's already happened, and we're just waiting for the games now. So it's gonna be. I think our predictions are going to be different than they were last year because we have all this knowledge. We know injuries, you know who's starting for who. Like, yeah, I'm excited. Should we get into it?
Last year when we did this, we didn't know who at least like 6 or 7 starting quarterbacks were going to be for teams. So it was like a real shot in the dark. I didn't even know my boy Tay was going to be playing last year, for gosh sakes.
But he did.
He did.
Or didn't he?
He did.
Who's Tay?
That's Tyler Heineke, buddy. Come on.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time, man. I'm not in mid-season form yet. Okay.
We'll get there.
It's preseason for all of us. I am ready to talk about some AFC West football. You ready? You ready to go? Okay. So
I am ready. First of all, we should probably talk about what we did last year. Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, you have that information because I deleted it. But thank goodness for Chad, he saved it because he knew this was going to happen.
Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. But, Fun fact, both of us predicted last year the AFC West to finish the exact same, with the Raiders in 4th, the Denver Broncos in 3rd, the Chargers in 2nd, and the Kansas City Chiefs in 1st place. Well, we were sort of right on some things.
We were, but we weren't at the same time because we're not good at this. But we're gonna be better this year because I got fourth place. It's obviously going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are, let's get honest, not good. Like, who do they have? They're starting not Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like Gardner, but
Love Gardner.
I mean, when he's your opening day starting quarterback, your team's not very good. They lost a lot of people, too. They lost Josh Jacobs. They didn't know they lost Hunter Renfrow, and apparently he's still a free agent. So
he has not been signed anywhere.
His last 2-3 seasons, he did nothing, but he had that one good year. But I don't know. I don't see the Raiders having a very good year. I think that I like the hire of Antonio Pierce, but I don't know. I don't think they gave him a good squad. I think they kind of screwed him over, and they're in rebuilding mode. And definitely Devontae Adams will be traded by the trade deadline. I mean, why keep him? Like, you're in rebuilding mode, get some draft picks, and send him to the Jets. As long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy.
So, fun fact for everyone. In doing this year, last year, I kind of flew by the seat of my pants, and I just kind of threw some crap at the wall and hoped something would stick. This year, I had a little more free time. And by that, I mean, I had a really slow day at work a few weeks ago. So I actually went through and I wrote down every NFL game, and I predicted every single NFL game about 3 weeks ago. So before preseason even started. And that's where I'm getting all of these predictions from. And then after I picked all the games, I went through and wrote down information about each of the teams and why I thought they were going to do as good or bad as they are. Now, in saying that, I 1000% agree with Diesel. In fourth place, the Las Vegas Raiders. Because in doing this, I did pluses and minuses. I could only think of one plus for this team right now, and that's Max Crosby. And I love Max Crosby, one of the best defensive ends in football. But sans that, you have the offseason departures. You lost Josh Jacobs. You lose a bunch of other players. Hunter Renfrow, I don't have that list in front of me right now. You have Gardner Minshew as your starting quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I love the mullet. I love that he is the most Floridian man who might exist on the planet. But I'm sorry. He's not really a starting QB in the NFL. And then you have really what Diesel said. Can Pierce do it again? Last year, the Raiders won on grit and basically fighting for Antonio Pierce to get this job. They really love Antonio Pierce. But is that love going to transfer for an entire season? Nah, I don't think so. Plus, they don't have a great schedule. It's going to be a rough year for Raiders fans. At least you're in Vegas, though. Throw a couple bucks on them losing every game.
I think there's one more bright spot for the Raiders besides Max Crosby. It's on the other side of the ball. And I think that's Michael Mayer, whatever his name is. I think he's a great young tight end who might as well just trade him as well and get some draft picks. But, I mean, he is young, so I don't know. I think that, but other than that, I got Jacoby Myers. But
he had one resurgent year. I see the Raiders as a team of a lot of mismatched toys. And yeah, there's a couple bright spots in it, but I just don't see it all coming together again. I do like Antonio Pierce. I'm not trying to hate on him, but I think he's been handed a really bad hand. And like, I don't know if the wonderful ownership that is over there in Vegas will keep going through with letting him be the coach if it goes as badly as I think it might. But I'm rooting for him. I really am.
Well, the next one, I'm pretty sure we have the same team at the top of the division. And I'm wondering if 2 and 3 are going to be different for us. Who do you have for finishing third in the AFC West?
At number 3, I have the Denver Broncos. Finishing number 3 in the division. Okay, few things. You're starting a rookie quarterback, and I know, don't get me wrong, Bo Nix is basically the furthest thing from a rookie that will ever exist in the NFL with the number of snaps and football games he has played. Still, rookie. They have a suspect defense, and they have one murderer's row of a schedule. The Denver Broncos this year play a lot of bad away games. Their home games are their easier opponents, and the only good thing this team has going for them, though, is besides Bo Nix being their quarterback, I think they do know that it's a rebuild. They're kind of trading away pieces. They're like acquiring a lot of things. Sean Payton's clearly not getting fired, so he's got at least another couple of years in the tank of this team. I think they know they're in a rebuild mode. I only put him above the Raiders because I do believe a little bit more in Bo Nix and Sean Payton than I do Gardner Minshew and Antonio Pierce.
I have the Los Angeles Chargers finishing third in this division. Number one reason why: offense coordinator Greg Roman. Look at how many years he held back the Baltimore Ravens, and he goes from one Abra to the other. I do not like Greg Roman. I shouldn't use the word hate, but like then also look at all the departures for Los Angeles. They lost Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Jared Everett, Joshua Kelly, Mike Williams. Those five right there are huge losses. And how did they replace them? Well, they got Gus Edwards. They got J.K. Dobbins, who, I mean, I don't think is done, but like coming off of two big injuries, season-ending injuries, isn't great. They added DJ Chark, who is, let's be honest, he's been pretty much a bust. And Hayden Hurst. I don't think that makes up for what they lost. Like, I think that they have a good quarterback, but they don't have anyone to throw to. I don't know. I just don't think that the Chargers are going to be very good this year. But that's okay, because like you said about Sean Payton, Harbaugh's not going to lose his job this year. They didn't really hand him the best team either, and he has taken a team that was horrible in the 49ers and turned them around and taken them to the Super Bowl. I just don't think this is the year that that's going to happen. I think they're going to have growing pains this year, and wouldn't be surprised if Greg Roman was one and done, but we'll see about that.
All right. Well, with that does bring us to our number 2 team then in the AFC West. And who you got?
Obviously, it's the Broncos. I like the Broncos this year because of Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. Like you said, even though he is a rookie, he's also 25 years old, 24 or 25, I don't know. He's mid-20s. He played more college football games than any other player. Like, he's been there before. Like, played in big games is what I mean, not the NFL. I think he's going to do good. I think that we've seen it in the past. Sean Payton take a quarterback like Drew Brees and make him amazing. And even last year, Russell Wilson was better than he was the year before. He wasn't great, but he was better. I think that the longer Sean Payton has control of the team, better they're going to be. And he's still picking up the mess from the previous regimes, but I think that doesn't mean that I think the Broncos are going to be good. I think this division's going to be bad. So I wouldn't be surprised to see all three of the bottom 3 teams be under 500 this year, and the Chiefs just run away with it. I wouldn't be surprised. They beat up on each other, and then they can't win it out of the division.
Diesel, I love doing this show with you, and I love that you're my best friend because we have such opposite opinions on like basically everything. It's wonderful. My number 2 team in this division is the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, the luck has got to run out. There's a video on the YouTube machine. Just look up luckiest team in the NFL. I can't remember who posted it. It's about 30 minutes long. By far and away, you can bitch about my favorite team, the New England Patriots, all you want. By far and away, by just the most random of occurrences and what luck, quote unquote, is, the Kansas City Chiefs are the luckiest mother effing team that has ever existed in the NFL. This run that they're on is a thing of just absolute improbability. The way that everyone seems to stay healthy, everything falls into place for them. The teams they need to lose, and the teams they need to win, even when it's impossible. Okay. Their target on their back has never been bigger. No one wants to see a 3-time concurrent Super Bowl champion. This is the NFL coming. Just like when New England was going for it that year, every game New England played was a Super Bowl for the other team. The New England got the best shot that team could get, and Kansas City is going to get the exact same this year. The only reasons that they're still finishing second is because guess what? Reed, Mahomes, and Kelsey are still there. And they have a damn good defense. I'm not saying they're going to finish below 500 or anything like that, folks. I still think they're a playoff team. I just don't think they win the division this year. I think luck finally catches up with them, and they lose a few of those chippy games that they lost last year as well. But this year, it doesn't all come up sunshine and rainbows at the end with every other team in their division losing.
I'm surprised you, being a Patriots fan, would have that theory because of the fact, you saw it for damn near 20 years. Having the best quarterback in the league does a lot more for you than having the second best quarterback in the league. It's a big drop off from 1 to 2. Patrick Mahomes is easily the best quarterback in the league, and he's going to carry that team. It doesn't matter who he's thrown to, and I think that he's better off this year than he was last year. He's got Hollywood Brown this year. When
he's going to play.
What?
Hollywood Brown's injured.
Well, they signed him, but they also just brought back Juju Smith-Schuster, who wasn't bad. He wasn't bad when he was with the Chiefs. He wasn't even horrible last year. The Patriots were horrible last year.
Patriots are really bad. I won't put any of that on Juju. You're right.
No, it wasn't his fault. He still took in 600 yards. Was it 6 touchdowns?
No, he had one. He had one touchdown last year. One.
Well, I know he had 600 yards. Maybe that's where I'm getting 6 from. But still, he had Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi throwing to him.
Wasn't good.
What?
It wasn't good.
No, but they also drafted Xavier Worthy too. I think that they have improved at the receiver position, and they have Kelsey, and the defense is stacked, led by Chris Jones and everybody else on the defense. Chiefs are number 1 in that division easily. I don't think the Chargers are going to be very good this year, and I know that you do, and I want to hear why. Everything that I told you, I want to hear why.
All right. I'm here for it because obviously your number 1 team is the Kansas City Chiefs for every reason that you just said and have been very poignant about the rest of the division, right? There's nothing else you need to say about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Great. The reason.
The floor is yours.
The Chargers, the freaking LA Superchargers are going to win this division. Diesel, fun little factoid. Tell me, before Jim Harbaugh joined the San Francisco 49ers in 2011, when was the last time the 49ers made the playoffs? Nay, when was the last time before 2011 the 49ers even had an above 500 record?
2003?
2002, my good sir. 1 year even before that.
I was close. I knew it was around there.
My good friend, answer me this next query. In Jim Harbaugh's first year as the San Francisco 49ers head coach, tell me, and also remember this was the year of the shortened offseason because of the lockout. Tell me, what was Jim Harbaugh's record as the San Francisco 49ers first year head coach?
I don't remember.
13-3, mother effer, with the exact same team that the year before went 5-11. Jim Harbaugh.
Better players, though.
No.
Yes,
Do you know who their quarterback was? Quarterback.
Yeah, I do know who their quarterbacks was. It was Alex Smith, former number 1 overall, who played for 16 years, broke his freaking leg, and still came back to play. He's nothing to scoff at. He was a solid quarterback. He got Patrick Mahomes ready to win 3 Super Bowls, Chad, okay?
I hate Jim Harbaugh. I truly do. I think he is one of the most... It's the khakis. It's the arrogant smugness. It might be almost like that. Might be looking in a mirror a little bit. I hate him. I hate him so much. But you know what? He knows how to turn programs around. He knows how to do it quickly. That's the thing about Jim Harbaugh. I think he's a flash in the pan kind of coach. He's not a long-term coach. I know he was in Michigan for a while, but I don't think his message, especially in the pros, stays for long periods of time. Like eventually these mature men get sick of his bullshit. But in the beginning, when everyone is drinking that Kool-Aid, oh my gosh, it is sunshine and roses. And you want to know really why I think the LA Chargers, I still gotta call them the San Diego Superchargers, are going to wreck smash in this division? That offensive line. Do you know that I know it's preseason football and it doesn't mean that much, but even like from their starters on down through the entire games the Chargers have played, they have generated between 3 and 5 yards of free space for their running backs to operate through the entire preseason. Every time a running back touches the ball, they're getting 3 to 5 yards of free space of not being touched to run. And Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, boys, be prepared for your career resurgences. Herbert, I love it. I'm sorry. I'm drinking the Chargers Kool-Aid. That defense is nothing to joke about. They've always been a coach away from being a great team. And you know that, Diesel. They have been one piece away. Everything on paper about the Chargers is phenomenal, except for that top piece.
What are you talking? I just told you everything they lost on offense.
They lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams at wide receiver.
Offensive line. How come Herbert is injured every single year? Because he doesn't have time to throw the ball. That's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I thought I was being generous giving them third and not last in this division. You are smoking something that I would like to get my hands on.
Hey, you want a gentleman's bet right now? I will bet you the Chargers finish at least second.
No, I don't want to do that because it's like for me, because Denver, like I said, I don't think Denver is going to finish over 500.
Fine. Give me 2-1 on it. I'll bet you $20. Give me 2-1. If the Chargers win, you pay me 40. If the Chargers don't, if they get anything besides first, I'll give you $20.
No, I don't want to take that bet.
You're such a... Yeah, that's right. Won't put your money where your mouth is.
No, not tonight. Not on that.
All right.
But that being said, that you got the Chargers number 1, I got the Chiefs number 1. We'll see what happens. I don't think so. But I'm also flabbergasted that you said that Jim Harbaugh came to the 49ers didn't have anybody. He had Frank Gore, he had Vernon Davis, he had that sorry wide receiver Crabtree. I mean, come on.
He drafted Crabtree
in 2011.
Yeah, he drafted him.
I know what I'm saying. I was making a joke.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed the joke. I'm sorry. I'm also in preseason.
After that NFC Championship game, can't put a sorry wide receiver like Crabtree on me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Over your head. You know the jokes are funniest when you have to explain them.
They are.
Well, let's just move on to the NFC West then. You can go first. Who do you got finishing last?
Number 4 in the NFC West, which I think is going to be another very competitive year in this division. I like a lot of the people in this division. The team that I fell out of love with last year, and I'm still very out of love with, I got the Seattle Sea Chickens finishing 4th. Completely new coaching staff, super tough division. And really, does Geno still have it? Like, I mean, is Geno actually an NFL quarterback? Or is he who we thought he was with the New York Jets? But, I mean, and really the things that are playing in their advantage, that if things went well, I mean, you can't deny they have great wide receivers and their running back room is absolutely stacked. I mean, they have great skill position players, but I don't believe in Geno Smith and I don't believe in their offensive line. And also with a whole new staff, I think that freaking Pete Carroll was the one holding that whole team together with his just craziness. And I just don't know what they'll do this year. So I got him in 4th.
I, this time, couldn't agree with you anymore. I feel the same exact way. You know how I was on the bandwagon of the Seahawks last year? I had them winning the division last year. And for a while, they looked like maybe they would sneak this one out. But no, I mean, that was only halfway through. But still, I feel the same way. With the new staff, I think that Pete Carroll was the only thing holding this team together. mean, they still got a great defense. They still got stellar wide receivers. We're doing bold predictions later. This is one that I left off the list. I'll say it now. I think that either DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett will be traded by the deadline.
It's got to be DK, right? I mean, Lockett. I love Tyler Lockett, one of the just most perennial, just consistent wide receivers ever. But he's getting old.
I can see both, actually. To be honest with you,
maybe.
But I just have a feeling that they're going to be out of it. Like, once they get to the deadline, they're going to be out of it. Like, I think it's weird how the NFL is kind of turning into the MLB when it comes to like trades and stuff like that. It's wise, especially when rebuilding, to like stock up on these draft picks, because you can always trade draft picks for talent that's developed. But I feel like they're definitely not gonna be good this year. I forgot who their coach was. I just looked. It's Mike McDonald.
Ronald McDonald has an NFL coaching gig? What's gonna happen to McDonald's?
Oh no, Mike McDonald, the guy from Mad TV who played Stewart.
Oh, okay. That's good. He can coach an NFL team, apparently.
Their offensive coordinator is Ryan Grubb. I don't know who that is, but I'd like to go grab some dinner with him. They added Pharaoh Bro at tight end. They lost Drew Lock and DJ Dallas. Yeah, they're gonna suck this year. Their departures and additions don't look very good either way.
No, it's a rough squad. But what is another plus that I could put here is that they got to know they're in rebuild mode after you fire Pete Carroll and hire a whole new squad. I mean, Geno Smith ain't getting any younger, so they have to know deep down.
Okay, so now I think we agreed on this one. I don't think we're gonna agree going forward. I, at number 3, have the Arizona Cardinals, only because I don't know with them. Like, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. now, who is going to be electric. And Kyler Murray, when he came back last year, he's like, okay, I'm going to be good for a game, and then I'm going to suck again. And then I just might do something. And it's like, I don't know. I don't really like Jonathan Gannon. But I don't really know much about him. I kind of felt like he was just brought in because they needed a head coach. I don't know. It was a weird start last year when he gave Joshua Dobbs the starting job. They traded for him, and like that weird interaction that they had. And like, this is just a weird guy. I don't know. I just don't know what to feel about them. They did add Zay Jones, who is he going to play? Who knows? They did lose Hollywood Brown, but as Chad said, he's probably not going to play.
Not until at least week 6.
And Marvin Harrison Jr., though, is...
Love it.
Yeah, I do too. But, like, I think there's more question marks for the Arizona Cardinals. And also, I mean, maybe you're picking the Cardinals too, because I realized who else is in this division. So I don't know. I just think the two teams I have above them are head and shoulders better.
Yeah, I am agreeing with you. I think in third place, the Arizona Cardinals here. They are in just, I hate putting this for multiple teams, but in certain divisions, it has to go on every one of their negatives if you're not the greatest of teams. And that's tough division. I mean, you have 6 games against the Sea Chickens, I know, but they'll play them tough. But the 49ers and the Rams are going to have to play another 4 times or 2 times each. They have a weak O-line. It's okay because Kyler Murray can run around and everything like that. And I don't love their defense. I don't know enough their players, and they just haven't really focused on defense. But I do think that their offseason additions, a fully healthy Kyler Murray, and the progression of Trey Burton, their, now I think 2nd or 3rd year tight end, might be I can't remember which, but he's very young. I think that they're going to be a very tough team. I think they're going to play a lot of teams very toughly. They're going to lose a lot of games, but I don't think they're going to get blown out a lot this year. I think the Cardinals are going to be one of those teams that everyone's like, shit, why do we got to play the Cardinals this week? Like before they have like a big game or something. But yeah, I got the Cardinals in 3.
I feel like they'll be improved, but by how much, I don't know. I don't think a lot. No. So many question marks. This team, they're always a weird team. They have been for the last few years. Like, you just can't figure them out.
And especially since they paid Murray, they can't ever fully be in a rebuilding mode unless they traded away Kyler Murray. And who's going to take on Kyler Murray's contract if they're a bad team and he's not like producing? So they're in a very weird spot. The Cardinals gotta either do it with the team they got or they gotta just blow the whole thing up.
Well, who do you have second? Do you got the Rams or do you got the 49ers?
In second place, just like last year. No, I lied. I did pick the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, we didn't do how our NFC West went last year. I just realized. I forgot. So before we go to our top two teams in the NFC West, last year, Diesel thought the Arizona Cardinals would finish in fourth, the LA Rams in third, San Francisco 49ers in second, and the Seattle Sea Chickens in first. I, on the other hand, had Arizona finishing fourth, the Sea Chickens finishing in third, the Rams finishing in second, and the San Francisco 49ers finishing in first, which AKA means I effing nailed it.
You did. Congratulations. But
Thanks.
Who you got at second this year?
In second place this year, in a reversal of fortunes from last year, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers to finish in second place in the NFC West. Listen, the 49ers are one of the most perpetually injured teams in the NFL. As our buddy Tommy the Gun will tell you, they have started 1,000 quarterbacks and 1 million different players across the board because no one for this squad can ever stay healthy. So you know that they're going to lose at least a few major pieces on this team during the year. It happens every year. And also, you have two major players, Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk, who, as of recording this on the 28th of August, still have not signed new contracts with the team. This is bad. You're starting all-pro left tackle, and the guy who saved your season in the NFC Championship game against the Lions by making one of the most ridiculous, hand-eye coordination catches of all time in that game. Saved your season. You haven't paid either of those guys. They're going to be pissed off all year, and pissed off megastars do not do well for teams. But now, once again, just like how I was talking about the Chiefs, I don't mean this as I think the 49ers are going to fall from grace and be a minus, 500 team. They are still have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They still have weapons everywhere, and they still have one of the best coaching staffs that is in the NFL. I do think they're going to win a bunch of games. Me putting them in second is more the fact that I think the rest of the division has improved, and I can see them splitting maybe with the Cards or the Sea Chickens on just like a fluky game where they lose a game they shouldn't. And that's why my number one team takes the division crown this year. But who do you have, Diesel, at number two?
I have the LA Rams. But you do make a compelling argument for San Francisco to finish second. I think that they'll figure it out. They are a team that doesn't seem to get distracted. And I'm not saying the Rams aren't going to be any good, because I do think the Rams are going to be very good this year. I think it's going to be a race to see who finishes first in this division between those two teams. So by saying that I have the Rams at second isn't saying that I think the Rams aren't going to fall and not make the playoffs, because I do have the Rams in the playoffs this year as one of my wild card teams. But I don't know. I've been bit by the 49er bug way too many times. And as a Packers fan, I've seen it. And I've seen, and being friends with our friend Tommy the Gun, I've seen it so many times. All of a sudden he starts talking trash. And when he starts talking trash, things are actually going to start happening. For some reason, he has this sixth sense when the 49ers are going to start getting good. And every year it's what are you talking about? They just lost 3 games in a row. They're on the downside. No, go Super Bowl. It's yeah, but I don't know. The Rams, I don't have anything bad to say about the Rams. I do have an interesting fact that, isn't new or anything like that, but Sean McVay is in his 8th year as the head coach of the Rams, which is crazy. It was just yesterday they hired him. They also added Jimmy Garoppolo to back up Matthew Stafford.
Got the two prettiest quarterbacks in the NFL in that back room over there, Matthew Stafford and Jimmy G. Come on.
I mean, they lost Aaron Donald to retirement, which is unfortunate for them, but good for him. Jordan Fuller also left in free agency, so yeah. I mean, they still have a really good squad. They still have a really great receiving core. I still think that their run game is good. They have one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league. That's why it's 1A, 1B when it comes to the Rams and the 49ers, because like both of their coaches are just, when it comes to game planning, they're really hard to beat. So it's a coin toss who's going to win this division. So I'm not surprised that you have it different than I do, but I think we both realize that it could easily go either way.
Oh yeah, in looking at my actual like predictions for how everything shakes out, and I will say that any of my numbers I was going to give a +2 or -2 to, but I have the Rams and the 49ers finishing within a game of each other. So the division is decided by a game.
Oh yeah, and I have the 49ers, and I don't have much to say about them. Like I said, I feel like they don't get distracted. Like, the noise doesn't really bother them. I think that I originally thought that Ayuk was going to be traded, but since we're so close to the season, I don't see that happening because, I mean, technically he was traded like a dozen times. It was just blocked every time. So, like, and really the only team that really made a real offer for him was Pittsburgh, and he didn't want to go there.
Actually, the Patriots made one hell of an offer for him and was going to pay him a lot of money. But I do respect Ayuk for saying no, because I also would have said no.
Oh yeah, that's why it wasn't a real offer, because they knew that no matter what you threw at him, he wasn't going to New England, which is weird to say because just 5 years ago,
people would have been shocked. They'd have been like, "You want to pay me the league minimum? Yeah, I'll be there. What do you just want?"
I mean, but they still have Christian McCaffrey, who is he ever going to slow down? I mean, I don't think he's going to slow down this year. He's in his prime, that's for sure. That was one hell of a trade they made to get him 2 years ago. If Debo stays healthy, he's good, but I think they paid the wrong receiver, to be honest with you. I think they should have paid Ayuk first. I think, that even though Debo has been in the league longer, I think that Ayuk should have been the priority. He's better. He's an actual wide receiver. Debo is a hybrid. He's great at what he does, but you can't classify him as just a wide receiver. He's both a wide receiver and a running back. He does so much more than that too. He's good at blocking. He's good at playing. He's the deceiving wide receiver. I think that they did make a little bit of a mistake by pissing off Brandon Ayuk, who I do think is a top 5 receiver in this league, which some people will scoff at, but I don't care because I watched him last year and he was ridiculously good. And you mentioned how he saved them in the NFC Championship. He didn't have that bad of a game in the Super Bowl either. He wasn't the reason they lost it. So, yeah, I like the 49ers win this division. I don't like the 49ers as a team, but yeah.
Yeah, really, I have obviously the LA Rams at number 1. The only real negatives I have for the Rams this year are Stafford's health and their kind of suspect defense. They have some young players there, and they seem to show up at the right times, but especially losing Aaron Donald, that's a terrifying thing. But just like those San Francisco 49ers, they have weapons everywhere. And they have, I think, now without Bill Belichick in the NFL, I'm probably a little, I don't know, biased because they played in a Super Bowl against each other, but I just love his style. I think he really changed the NFL in a lot of ways, and I'm not trying to disrespect Andy Reid, which I definitely am. He's probably the third best coach behind Andy, or the second best coach behind Andy Reid at this point. But I love Sean McVay. I really love McVay. I think he is one of just the smartest coaches out there, and he's so willing to just throw everything that he thinks is right out the window if it's not working. He's one of those guys that I don't think has the hubris that will let him burn. Bill Belichick has a problem where his own hubris is what has led him to not having a job this year. I don't think McVay has that. McVay is very confident, but he's not cocky. And also, I think that this could be a swan song for the Rams because McVay doesn't want to coach much longer. I don't think Stafford wants to play much longer. He has a history of injuries. Cooper Kupp is healthy this year, but also is piling up a litany of injuries. Like they just lost Aaron Donald. I don't see this group staying together much longer. So I think this could be a swan song for the Rams. And I know I said that last year, and it was Aaron Donald's swan song, and it didn't finish the way he wanted. But I think Matthew Stafford is going to try again. So I got the Rams at number 1.
Those were our AFC and NFC West predictions. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Give us that thumbs up and click the bell to be notified because we are going to be dropping a few videos here. We should probably explain this at the beginning too. Like we're doing division by division, and a new video will be coming out daily leading up to opening night. I don't know. Yes. Chad's the one who's dropping them, so yeah. I think that's the plan.
Our episodes you clearly are watching this on the Saturday before football starts. So tomorrow will be the AFC North. The next day will be Diesel.
The AFC South. Or the AFC and NFC South.
Yeah, so it'll be the AFC and NFC North, then the AFC and NFC South. And then the next day it will be the East for both of those. And then finally, on that Wednesday before the NFL kicks off in full on that Thursday will be our playoffs, our bold predictions, and who we think is going to win it all show. And then on that Thursday will be our first episode of the 2024 season where we will predict every single game, every single week. And I will give you my gold, silver, bronze locks and some bonus locks. And maybe there'll be a new team who gets the Baltimore lock of the week. Who knows if I'm as high as I was on Baltimore last year? You just don't know. Caw-caw!
Nice. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for the AFC and NFC North. Until then, I have been Diesel. He has been Chad. And get ready for some football!
Bye!
This has been a Visionaries Global Media production. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.